Hey everybody, welcome back. I am bored. COVID made me bored, and today I am playing Starcadia Quest. I got into board gaming because gotta pass the time, and I enjoy board gaming with miniatures. I enjoy a variety of types of gameplay. Fast-paced, slow-paced, dungeon crawlers, exploration, adventure, PvP, cooperative, and I came across Starcadia Quest mainly because I actually was looking at Arcadia Quest, which is sort of a medieval themed semi-cooperative adventure game. Starcadia Quest is exactly like Arcadia Quest, except it is sort of a space themed. It has a lot of space elements, sort of outer space monsters that you're fighting. You've got characters that, honestly, there's some similarities to references to characters that like in Star Wars. So, for example, you've got this character here. Hold on, I don't know if my autofocus is working properly. Babaka, which is clearly Chewbacca. We've got Hanalone, which is Han Solo. And we have the character I'm playing here, Edge, which is Blade. So they've got a couple sort of play on characters in terms of who they're resembling. But the essence of this game, it's a miniature game that is semi-cooperative, and by that I mean you are playing against an AI enemy as well as competing against the other player. This is best played with 2 to 4 players. They do have a solo variant, not official solo variant, but I've found that the solo variant sucks. I would not recommend this. If you plan on being bored like me and playing games solo, Starcadia Quest, in my opinion, doesn't work well as a solo game unless you don't mind playing 2 different sides. And that, just like a lot of other board games, you kind of have to pick 2 players. But again, you're not working cooperatively in the sense that you're working together. You are working to achieve one goal, which is defeat the enemy, but the other goal is to defeat each other and earn points. At the end of the day, this is a victory point system. You're trying to complete objectives before your opponent, earn the points, kill monsters, earn points, kill each other, earn points, and then at the end of the round, whoever's got the most victory points wins. So it's cute. The style of the characters here are, chibi style, very similar to Marvel United. This is Edge, and I like them. They've got great detail. This is another game by Come On Games that I have, and they'd be great for a painting project. Here's a look at one of the enemies. So this is I forgot what this guy is called, an Octo something, and the Peekaboom. So you can see the cover art. I like the coloring, the characters. It is really cool. I like that sort of comedic, comical space theme. Each player will be controlling 2 characters, and on their turn, they will be there. Before I do that, you'll be given a choice of scenarios. So, unlike a lot of other games, this one is heavily based on a campaign. It's best played as a campaign. So a lot of people say, oh, it takes 30 to 45 minutes to play. Yeah, that's one scenario. There are a total of 7 scenarios, but as a whole, you only play 4 of the 7 because it all depends on sort of like a choose your own adventure style. So the very first one we're playing is called Distress Signal. And Distress Signal, it outlines the map and how you're going to lay it out. And there are 10 tiles, single-sided tiles, that comes in the game. And the tile outlines the portals, spawn points for enemies, a computer terminal, and as well as usually there will be other objective markers on here. This one's not a very good indicator of that. There are doors, which are sometimes closed depending on the scenario, and each square is a space, and each space can hold a maximum of 2 characters. Line of fire, line of sight is plays in this game. If you have a clear shot, there's no range. It's just if there's unobstructed line of sight, you have a ranged target. Anything like a wall, blocks, you can't cut corners. In terms of movement, you move orthogonally, you cannot move diagonally. When you are adjacent, in terms of adjacency, anything in an orthogonal position is adjacent. Anything in a diagonal is not considered adjacent. So, and in the game, you can do a range attack even though you're beside or adjacent to a character. So that's a quick overview. I'm not going to go through all the rules and the nitty-gritty. You can find that online. You can download the rule book like I did, read through it, see if you liked it. I liked it, but at the end of the day, I thought it would play well solo. It doesn't. I can't bring a friend into because it's COVID, so I don't play this as much as I could. But I think that once I can have friends over, definitely a game that would be a lot of fun. So for the scenario, this is scenario 1. It's called Distress Signal. There's a setup routine. It outlines the enemies that you should be facing. So there's a default enemy that has to be there called the Scuttlebutt, and then you can choose random ones. And then it has a quest. Depending on the scenario, there are a variety of quests, and the quest is the objective. The objective is independent of the player. It's whoever gets to it first. So this is a PvE quest, which is a player versus environment. So in this situation, the first player to kill 3 troopers completes this quest. A trooper is one of the ones, if you can see the trooper board or the enemy board up here. We don't have any officers or a villain in this particular scenario. Officers are more powerful. Troopers are kind of like your grunts. If you complete this quest, you get 2 victory points. Quests must be completed in sequence. So this is quest 1. The second quest is rescue the robot. Bring the blue quest token to the computer terminal. The first player to end the activation of their hero on the destination while carrying the blue quest token completes this quest, and you earn 4. The moment that all the quests are complete, the game is done, and then you add up points. That's the PvE. That's the player versus environment. Then you have a side quest, which is the player versus player quest. This is incentive for the player to try to kill their opponent to earn the reward. The first player to kill a hero from the red crew completes this quest. I'm playing red and blue. So the moment that's done, that quest is done. And the other quest for the blue player, for the other player, is no longer accessible. So you earn 2 points to be the first person to kill your opponent. Event cards. During the event phase, you'd be drawing a card, and this is basically the AI. It's activating the troopers or the officers. On the officer board, depending on how you choose, it outlines their health, the overkill, movement, and how many victory points you earn if you kill one. Overkill, so for example, if you roll and you successfully attack, and let's say you get 3 hits. They try to do a defense, they can't defend, you get 3 hits. That trooper's dead. They will still have one opportunity to do a sort of a payback activation in case they sort of attack you before they die. If you do overkill, which means you roll, you have at least a minimum of 4 damage, not including the minus the defense, then that trooper dies. They don't even have a chance to do a comeback attack. So what's interesting about this game is that there are multiple ways that enemies can attack you. The first is during an activation. So that's on the event card. The second is the payback, which is you attack them, they attack you back unless you do overkill. The third way is movement, a reaction, sort of a guard reaction. If you are adjacent to them and you attempt to move away from them, they will attack. Moving into an adjacent space doesn't trigger them. Moving away from a space adjacent to them will trigger them. So that's just something different to keep in mind, because you could end up moving away and being adjacent to multiple troopers, and they would all activate. So it took me a while to sort of get used to the rule book and the phrasing, but on your player turn, you activate. Heroes can move. They have up to 4 movement points. Movement points can be spent in multiple ways to move one space. There's a portal that you can use, and if there are doors on your map, you can open and close. It takes 1 point, movement point each. You can attack. You use a weapon, and you would roll the number of dice based on your weapon and see if you have any successful hits. You can also do a rest on your turn. A rest means that you don't do anything. You unexhaust all your weapons, and I'll explain that in a second. And if you have any dead heroes on your team, you can actually resurrect them. And then you do the event phase. So what's interesting about this game is you have multiple weapon choices. At the beginning, you have a set starter equipment, and the red tiles here represent the actual weapon, and it tells you the type of weapon, which is melee. A knife is melee, a gun would be ranged. You have the number of dice that you'd roll for this attack, and after you've chosen a weapon and you have used it, it becomes exhausted. You can't use it again on your next turn. So this is really interesting because this is sort of a hand management. You have to decide what weapons you want to use and sort of balance it between your other character, and then you have to take rest at some point because you do need to unexhaust all your weapons and upgrades. So here is an example of an upgrade. So this is a melee upgrade, which means that I get a +1 to my melee attack. So if I were to use the Pulse Blade in conjunction with my Iron Fist, I would have a total of 4. You cannot use a melee upgrade on a non-melee weapon. Vice versa, you can't use a ranged upgrade on a melee weapon. You can only use range on range. So an example here would be your repeater pistol, which has 2 dice rolls, and your red dot sight, which gives you a +1. And you also have a special ability on your repeater pistol. So at the beginning, you have 7 weapons and upgrades, which you can distribute amongst your team members of 2. On your player board, I'll show you the player board. This is the player board. So you would have your 2 characters represented by your color. This is the team color that you'd have. You have 6 slots, in which case you can allocate 6 slots per character. So you'll see a dividing line. So your initial start of 7 weapons/upgrades can be distributed however you want. When you take a rest, you can move them however you want if you need to reorganize. The nice thing about this particular game is that there is a point system, a campaign system. As you progress through the campaign, you would be keeping track of your points. Obviously, the person that wins has the most points earns additional bonuses, and those bonuses come in the form of additional weapons and upgrades. So as an example, let's see if I can find one here. You'll see that I've got power gloves, and it is a 4. It is a I think this means it's a sort of a both a melee and range. It's not a particular type, but you would roll 4 dice, and you'll see here there's a little code that says 201SQ, I think. So this one represents your 2nd level upgrades. Again, all this can be in the rule book. I really don't want to go through every single detail. Here are your dice. A gun represents a successful ranged attack if you are doing a ranged attack. A knife is a successful melee attack. This is a successful melee attack and defense. then this is just a success in terms of whatever it is. It's a crit. And when you roll one of these, you can roll an additional die. So it can stack. Okay, so we're just going to do a playthrough. For my blue team, I've got Blade, or Edge, and Nixie. On the red team, I've got Colonel McGunner, and Red. So we'll be playing Starcadia Quest, Distress Signal. On my enemy board, I've got the Scuttlebutt, the Octolo, and the Peekaboom as my enemies. So what we'll do is we'll roll a dice to see who goes first. So Team Blue is going to roll. We get a 1. Team Red gets a 3. So Team Red will be going first. And on their turn, I'm not sure if you can see here, and each one has a specific amount of health. Let me just pull out Edge again. So he has his default defense, number of dice he rolls for defense, his health, and he has a special ability. And they each have a special ability. So we have his health markers here. I've distributed my weapons that I feel would be the best. And now we're going to do a quick setup. So in this situation, we are placing one Scuttlebutt on each computer terminal on tile 1 and 2. So a Scuttlebutt here and a Scuttlebutt here. We are placing a level 2 Trooper, which is an Octolo, over on tile 3 computer terminal, which will be right here. And a level 3 Peekaboom on tile 4 computer terminal. We're going to place a blue quest token on the computer terminal on tile 1. So it's right here. So Edge and Nixie already have an advantage. They're sitting right in front of there. So the next thing will be Quest 1. The first player to kill 3 troopers completes this quest. Keep track of your kills with any quest tokens. Okay. So here we go. So Red and Colonel McGunner, Blaze McGunner are going to go first. And they can spend, now you can only activate 1 character per turn. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to activate McGunner. We're going to move in 1, 2, 3. We'll move up a little. And I'm going to do a ranged attack. I'm going to use my blaster rifle, which has 3. And I will also use my red dot side, which gives me 4. So I'm going to do an attack. And the melee symbols are not successful, but I do get a crit. So that's 1. I get to roll another. I get another crit, which I roll another. Whoops. And the last one was a melee. So I have 2 successful hits. Peekaboom has a defense of 2. So we'll roll 2 dice. And if he had a shield, it would be successful. So in this case, he has no success, 2 hits, he has a health of 2, he is actually dead. But before he does that, he gets to activate his reaction attack, in which case he can do a range attack, and he uses 4 dice. Okay, so he gets 1, 2 success, he gets to roll another because it's a crit. So 2 success, 2 successful hits. And McGunner has a defense of 2 shield, but he has his red shirt, which gives him a 3rd. And I get 1 defense against 2, so he takes 1 damage. I'll put these health markers over here. Okay, so Peekaboom is dead, and as a result, the Gunner's team earns a victory point. Earns 1 victory point for killing And on top of that, we can use a token here to represent that they have successfully killed 1 out of their 3 troopers. Okay, so that ends the turn for the hero, and we would be moving into the event card. So we're going to draw the event card. Now, normally the event card includes activating all the enemies on the board, but for the sake of simplicity and moving things along, I've eliminated the purple because there are no purple. No officers on this. So I'm going to draw the event. It says, activate the Octolo, choose 2 different spaces, and after you activate, you get to choose 2 different spaces containing gadget slots and place 1 gadget on each. Choose 2 different spaces containing gadget slots and place 1 gadget on each. Okay? So Octolo is going to move. So because what's interesting here is if I'm the red team and I'm activating this trooper, I'd be activating the trooper in a way that benefits me. So I wouldn't be moving Octolo towards the red team. I would be moving them towards the blue team. So that's one of the semi-cooperative, semi-competitive nature of this game, is that you are doing things that work for you and also against your opponent. So we'll pull these ones back. We're going to activate the Octolo. He has a movement value of 3. And I think what we'll do is we'll go 1 to this portal, 2 to activate the portal, and 3 to move it here. I think that I'm okay with that. Okay. And then we choose 2 different spaces containing gadget slots and place 1 gadget on each. So I already put, I don't know if I have to double check the rule book, but I already put 2 gadgets here. These are health packs, and I don't have any more gadget slots on the board. So we will just discard this. And that ends our turn. So now it's the blue team. Blue team chooses 1. Who do we want to use? We will use, we'll go ahead and use Edge. So Edge is going to move in. He is now adjacent to the scuttlebutt, and he's going to attack with his pulse blade. Oh, sorry, before I do that, Colonel McGunner has exhausted his weapons. If you notice, he has, I forgot to use it, he has the red shirt, which gives him +1 to his defense and an extra reroll on anything, either an attack or a defense roll. I forgot to use that, which is okay. So we're going to use Pulse Blade, and we're going to use Iron Fist. So we're going to exhaust them. We take 4 dice, and we are attacking the scuttlebutt. And we get 1, 2, and 3. We get 3 hits. And his unique ability is when he's attacking with a melee weapon, each critical hit deals an additional hit. He didn't roll 1, so he gets 3. This is technically enough if the scuttlebutt is unable to resolve a defense. So the scuttlebutt has 2 defense rolls. Oh, he gets 2. So he blocked 2, so he's going to take 1. So he has 1 damage. And now, as a reaction, he's going to attack Edge, and he rolls 4 dice. We've got 2. And his ability, he has no ability, so he gets 2. And Edge is going to roll. He has 2 defense. He gets a successful hit, a successful defense, and that's it. So just 1. So he's going to take 1 damage. So there's a lot of rolls going on and keeping track of defense rolls and attack rolls. So it's important that you sort of be mindful of the dice. I think this is the core box, retail box that I bought, but the Kickstarter came with multiple colored coded dice. So that actually would be helpful, especially when you're doing your rolls and defense rolls for your enemy. So that ends Edge's turn, and now we have nothing else that we can do. The scuttlebutt is still alive, so we're going to draw an event. And in this situation, the peekaboom activates. There is no peekaboom, so we immediately will spawn a peekaboom. Now, again, I am activating the enemy. I would use it in my favor. So I'm going to activate the peekaboom here. He'll spawn right here. And when I activate him, I am going to use his attack. So he's going to do a ranged attack on McGunner. He rolls 4. Oh, this is so bad. So he gets 4 success, 3 crits, which means he rolls 3 more dice, and that's it. So that's 4 against McGunner, and now McGunner has an opportunity to do a defense. He has 3 to defend with a reroll. He gets 1 success. I will reroll 1. I get a 2 success, and I get to reroll 1 more, or roll 1 more. I get 3. So out of the 4 hits, I stop 3, so he takes 1. And that ends the Peekaboom's attack. And on the event card, choose 2 different monsters on the board and swap their positions. So I will 2 different. I will swap this one and this one. Okay, so I'm swapping positions, and again, I'm doing it in a way that hopefully favors me. So that ends the blue team's turn. Now it's the red team. Red team gets to activate, and this is red. Red can move in, so she'll slide over here. Well, I guess this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So she moves in 4, and she's going to do a ranged attack with her repeater pistol, and she's going to also use her kitty primed. So that gives her 4. Gives her 4 dice. So we're rolling 4 dice. She gets 2 successes. She has 2 success, and Peekaboom has a defense of 2. He has a double success, 2 success plus a crit, a second crit, and that's it. So he successfully blocks that attack, and now he initiates his revenge or react attack. He is targeting, I think he would target red, but in this situation, I think he can target either one. When there's actually 2 players here, the opposing player would actually be doing the roll for Peekaboom. So we'll do 4. Okay, we get 3 success plus 2 crits. We roll 2 more, and we get another one. So that's 4. And red has a defense of 1, so this is not good for her. She doesn't get it. So she takes all 4. She has a health of 5, so she takes 4. Her special ability is when she's attacking, if she has wounds, she rolls 2 additional dice. So that's kind of nice, but she's down to 1 health now. So that ends her turn. We now draw the event card. We are activating the Peekaboom. Choose a tile, and then afterwards choose a tile. All characters with at least 2 life on that tile suffer 1 wound. Okay, so all characters with at least 2 life. Okay, so in this situation, I can move the Peekaboom. Now, obviously, I'm not going to attack myself, so the Peekaboom has a movement of 3. So we will move the Peekaboom away. 1, 2, 3. Is that right? Yeah, we'll move him here. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. And now we Oh, I did make Gunner wrong. I forgot about his ability. Sorry, for McGunner's ability, he actually swaps. He doesn't use the gun symbol on the dice. He uses the melee symbol. That's okay. So now we choose a tile. All characters with at least 2 life on that tile suffer 1 wound. So we're going to choose this tile, which means that this scuttlebutt has a health of 2. It will suffer 1. And Edge has a health of 3, and he will suffer 1. Okay, that ends the red team's turn. Now it's the blue team. Blue team, we're going to go ahead and we're going to move Pixie in, or Nixie in, and she's going to do a ranged attack on that last scuttlebutt. And she's going to use her blast rifle and Kitty primed. So she's actually rolling 5 dice. Okay, so we get 1, 2, 3, and a crit, 4. So we have 4. Scuttlebutt. Now, Nixie has an interesting ability. When attacking with a ranged weapon, her target rolls -2 defense. So the Scuttlebutt only has 2 defense, so it doesn't roll anything. So it's actually dead. And because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, we actually meet the overkill requirement. So there is no payback or retaliation attack. And because of that, we have earned ourselves 1 victory point, and we'll keep track of that. So that ends Nixie's turn. We've exhausted her weapons, and now we're going to draw an event card. We are now activating a Scuttlebutt. The Scuttlebutt, and then we replace 1 portal with a portal token of any other color. So let's activate the Scuttlebutt first. We're going to move 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And it cannot do an attack. So it had 1 health. We'll keep that health over there. And replace 1 portal with a token of any other color. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put green. No. Sure. I will replace this one with a green. Okay. And that ends the blue team's turn, so it is the red team. So the red team, red can still do something, and I think she might. So she's going to go ahead, and we're going to activate red with 1, 2, and she's going to use her pulse blade with her iron fist, gives her 4. She gets 1. She gets 1, and sorry, she has a wound, so she gets to roll an additional 2. So she gets 2. Okay. So the Scuttlebutt rolls for defense and gets 1 and gets 1. So it's going to take 1 damage, so it will be dead. It will be dead after this turn, but it gets to do 1 retaliation on red. So it's going to roll for 4. It gets 1, 2, 3, and gets to roll another 1. 4. Red has a defense of 1 and doesn't get it. So in this situation, the Scuttlebutt dies. We earn our victory point for that. And we also keep track that we have a second trooper dead, but red is dead or knocked out. So on the next turn, if we want to bring red back, we need to take a rest. So that ends the red team's hero turn. Now we activate the event card, and we are activating a Scuttlebutt. There is no Scuttlebutt, so we're going to port 1 in, and we will port it right here, and we're going to activate it. So 1, 2. And it's going to do an attack on Edge. It gets 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes. Edge has a defense of 2. He doesn't get any, so he's done. He has not been knocked out. Replace one portal with a portal of any other color. So we can do that again. And what we'll do is we will replace... we're going to make this one green. Okay. Okay, so that was the red team. So now blue team activates. Now we can take a rest, which I think we're going to have to. So we rest. So when we rest, we unexhaust all our weapons for our team members. We bring Edge back. Now Edge can appear either in your starting area or with your team member, adjacent to your team member, and we give him back all his health. So he has 4 health again. So that's one thing that is different as well. Even though your players can get eliminated, and both your players could get eliminated at the same time, it's possible for that to happen. You don't get eliminated from the game. You still have the opportunity to bring them back full health, unexhausted weapons, to continue. You don't get eliminated just because both your characters die. So that is a nice thing that keeps the game running. I know some other board games where you play, and if you get eliminated really early in the game, next thing you know, you're just done. You're just watching your friends play. So this keeps things moving along. Okay, so after that, that was the event for, and then we rested. So we can't do anything. We are done. We draw an event card. Asteroid Bump, we are activating a Scuttlebutt. The Scuttlebutt. And what we'll do is we will activate the Scuttlebutt, and we're going to move in 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. So we'll put him on that space. We choose a tile and a direction. All characters in that tile move 1 space in that direction. Okay, so I will choose this tile, and I'm choosing this direction. So he's moving over here. One space. So that ends the blue team's turn. It is now the red team's turn. We have to take a rest here, so we're going to rest. And when you rest, you only resurrect your fallen heroes. You don't get to heal your health of your characters. So we're going to put red back with Gunner, and she has her 5 health restored, as well as her weapons. That ends their turn. They draw an event card. We activate an Octolo, and then choose an enemy crew. The next time a player kills a hero from that crew, the player gains +1 victory points. Okay, so that you kind of have to remember. So we're going to use this Octolo. We're going to move 1, 2 to activate, and 3. So 3 puts us line of sight. If it was here, there's no line of sight, but right here, we do have line of sight of, yeah, we do, one of these characters. We can choose. So I will choose Nixie. So I'm doing a ranged attack on Nixie. Octolo has 3. We get 1, and it's a crit. We get 2. Nixie has 3 defense, 4 defense with her red shirt. She gets nothing, and she gets to reroll 1. She still gets nothing, so she's taking 2. So she takes 2 damage. Okay, and we obviously the red team chooses the blue crew member. The next time we kill one of them, we get an extra victory point plus the PvP. So that ends the event card for the red team. Now is the blue team's turn. Blade is going to move. And we're doing a melee attack with my pulse blade with my iron fist to give me 4. So I'm rolling for 4. I get 1, 2, 3. 3 success. And Octolo has 3 defense. And doesn't take any. Takes 3 damage. He's dead, but not enough for overkill. So he's going to attack Blade back. Or edge back. And his ability is when he's attacking a close target, he rolls a +1 die. So he rolls 1. And Edge has a defense of 2. He has a successful hit, a defend, and that's it. So that was enough to block that. So he doesn't take any damage. Octolo is off the board. We earn a victory point as well as keeping track. So now we're tied, 2 apiece. Now blue team flips their event card, activate a scuttlebutt, and I'm activating this one. 1, 2, 3. And we are going to attack. We have a choice because they're both in the same spot. We're going to attack McGunner. I think when I also forgot, when your enemy kills your opponent's hero, you earn a victory point. But it seems a little, well, we could play it like that, but I haven't been, so it's okay. As long as we play the same for both sides, then it's fair. So the scuttlebutt is going to attack. It's doing a close attack with 4 on McGunner. He gets 1, 2, 3, 4. He gets 4 successes. McGunner has a 3 defense. He gets 1, 2, and gets an extra reroll. So he gets 2. So 2 out of the 4, he stops, but he only has 2 health left. So McGunner is done. In this situation, blue team would have earned a victory point, but I don't see why the blue team should earn a victory point, so we're going to leave that. Choose a tile in a direction. All characters in that tile move 1 space in that direction. So we will choose... We will choose this tile, this direction. Okay. Okay. So that ends it. Now it is red team. McGunner's not on the map, but we can start with red. And I think we will. So red's going to do an attack. A melee pulse blade with iron fists to give her 4. She gets 1, and she doesn't have the option to reroll. So the scuttlebutt rolls for defense and gets 1. So no damage to the scuttlebutt, and it's attacking back. It gets 1, and red rolls for her defense, and she doesn't stop it, so she takes 1 damage. Okay, now red team draws the event card for an Octolo. There is no Octolo on the board, so we get to spawn one. We'll spawn the Octolo right here, and we will move 1, 2. No, actually 1. We're doing a close attack. He rolls for 4 on Nixie. He gets none because he needs no success. So there's no damage. Nixie survives that. Choose a type of monster. The next time a player kills that type of monster, the player gains +1. So I'm going to choose the scuttlebutt because I want it to work in red team's favor, obviously. Now we switch to blue team. Blue team, Nixie is going to... Sure. Nixie's going to do a ranged attack with her blaster rifle and her kitty primed, which gives her 4. Sorry, gives her 5. Gives her 5 dice. She gets 2, but I get a reroll. And still, so she gets a success of 2. Octolo rolls 3 defense. He gets 1, 2, and 3, plus 2 more, but it doesn't matter, he's defended it. So no damage, and now he attacks back with 4. He gets 1, 2, 3, 3. Nixie is defending with 4. She gets 1 and a reroll. 2, 3, 4, 4. So 3 on 4, she successfully avoids that attack. And now we pull our event card. We are activating Peekaboom. Peekaboom's right here. 1, 2, 1, 2, and does a ranged attack. Ranged attack on Red. He gets 1, 2. Red is rolling a defense of 1. She doesn't get it. Takes 2. She takes 2. And choose a monster on the board and place it on any portal. So we're going to place... So we want on any portal? No. No, we're good. We don't need to do that. Okay, red team's turn. Okay. Red is going to do an attack. She gets 2 for her repeater pistol. Kitty Prime gives her another 2. She gets to roll 2 more because she has wounds. So she's rolling a total of 6 dice. I think I'm running out of space. So 6 dice gives her 1, 2, 3, because it's a ranged, and she gets to roll 1 more, and that's it. So she gets 3. The Scuttlebutt rolls for 2 defense, gets 1, gets 1. So it takes 2 damage. It's dead, but it doesn't attack. It has a retaliation attack of 4. It gets 1, 2, 3. And Red rolls the defense, doesn't get it. So she takes 3. So she's dead. So Red is dead again. So she's KO'd, but the Scuttlebutt is KO'd. They earn their victory point, and they have completed the quest. And they earn 2 more victory points. So despite being KO'd on both characters, they have successfully completed this first quest. So this quest is done. And now we go to quest 2 is unlocked. The object of the game of this quest is to bring this blue token to this computer terminal in this tile. So we're at a slight disadvantage because now the next turn red team has to do a rest to bring them both back on. So now we draw the event. We are activating a Scuttlebutt. Scuttlebutt's nowhere to be found, so Scuttlebutt's going to be right here. I'm going to move. And I'm going to move. Well, I guess here. Yeah, let's go. Move and attack. So 4 on Pixie or Nixie. 1, 2, 3. Get to roll 1 more. 4, 5. 5 on Nixie. Nixie has 1, 2, 3, 4 defense. She gets 1 and she gets to reroll. Now let's call that 2. 2. So 5 on 2. She is done. So Nixie has died. And again, in this situation, red team would have earned a victory point, but I don't understand why you do that. So that's okay. So that was the end of the red team's turn. Now it's blue team. We can rest, but Well, let's see. What do we want to do? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move edge. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could do a ranged attack. Actually, you know what? I will. I'm gonna do a ranged attack with my repeater pistol on the scuttlebutt. Okay, I get 1. Scuttlebutt rolls for defense, gets 1, and gets 1. So that's stopped. Now he activates, he moves in, attacks with 4, he gets 3 with a 4. Edge defends with 2, he gets 1, 2, he gets to roll 1 more, he gets 2, so he takes 2. Okay. We pull the event card. We are activating. Oh, sorry. And that last one, we get to summon any officer. We summon a Peekaboom right in there. So now we activate the Peekaboom. The Peekaboom is going to activate, and we're going to move 1, 2, 3, and choose two different monsters on the board and swap their positions. Oh, sorry. I didn't see that there was a Peekaboom here. Did they all move, I think, right? So we'll move him 3. 1, 2, 3. And then choose 2 different monsters on the board and swap their positions. Don't really care to do it. We're fine. So now it's the red team. They're going to pull a rest, which brings them back to their start area. We unexhaust all their weapons. And now we pull an event. We are activating a Scuttlebutt. Scuttlebutt is going to attack Blade or Edge with 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Edge defends with 2. He gets 1, so he takes 3. He is off the board. And now we get to summon any officer. We will summon another Peekaboom and place them right here. Okay. So now it is the blue team's turn. We are resting. So we unexhaust all our weapons. We bring them back. We draw our event card. We are activating a Peekaboom. And I assume we activate all the monsters. Activate one of the monsters. So that last Peekaboom, I guess we'll put this one here and this one here. Because this one I activated, but technically I would have activated this one. Okay, so he's going to activate. And it's going to do a ranged attack on red. So, sorry, they've come back to life. I forgot to give them all their health back. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like I'm missing one for some reason. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Okay. Strange. Okay, so everyone's back. Range attack with Peekaboom. Peekaboom has 4 on. We'll go with Colonel Blazer. And he gets 2 success plus 2 more rolls. 1, 2, 1 more roll. And that's it. So that's a 4. On Colonel McGunner, he rolls 3 dice. He gets to reroll 1 and no success. So that's 4, which actually KOs him right off the bat. So he's KO'd off again. Okay. And place any monster on the board. Choose a monster on the board and place it on any portal. So we will choose this monster and place it on this portal. Okay. So now that was the blue team. Because we rested, no, sorry. Yes, that was the blue team. And we rested them. So now the red team gets to activate. They could rest again, bring the gunner back, but we're not going to. Are we? I don't know. Nah, she's going to move in. I'm going to move in. I'm going to do a pulse blade, close attack with 4 dice. I get 1, 2, 3. The Peekaboom has 2 defense. Nothing. So he's dead, but he gets to do 1 last retaliation attack, and he gets nothing. So he's dead, and we earn another victory point. And that ends our turn. We draw an event card. We activate an Octolo. It's the red team's turn. I should keep a marker here, just so I know. Red team's turn. We activate an Octolo. Octolo moves right here and doing a... actually, you know what? Octolo can move right in. And this is a close attack, so he's going to roll 4. Let's see. Let's go with Nixie. He gets 1. Nixie has a defense value of 4. She gets 1, which is enough to defend it. Yep, there we go. So she gets 1, 1. No damage to her. Okay, blue team. Blue team's got their work cut out for them, so we're in a little bit of trouble. So Edge is going to do his Pulse Blade with his Iron Fist. That's 4. He gets 1 success, 2, 3, 4. He technically gets 5 because he gets a plus on the crit, plus an additional roll. He gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. He gets 6 on Octolo. Octolo is defending with 3. It gets nothing, so that's overkill. So he's off the board. We earn a victory point. So now we are drawing our event card. We have to activate an Octolo. There is no Octolo, so we're going to spawn an Octolo right here. Whether or not we activate him right there, I feel like we should. So we're going to go ahead and activate. He's going in. 4. He gets 2. Sorry, he's a range, so it's 2. Red has a defense of 1. She doesn't get anything, so she takes 2. Okay. Choose an enemy crew the next time an enemy player, so we haven't killed an enemy crew member. The Scuttlebutt, I think we chose last time to get a +1, and we haven't killed one, so it is over to them. I think we're going to rest, and going to bring the gunner back. So we rest. The gunner comes back. We'll put him on this tile as well. And he has a health of 4. So we're going to pull in 4. That ends our turn. We draw an event card. We are activating an Octolo. This Octolo going to, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Let's share the space here. 3. Choose a type of monster. Next time the player kills that monster, the player gains +1. I choose Peekaboom. Okay. So now it's our turn. Sorry, blue team's turn. Nixie's going to go ahead and we're going to do a range attack with our Kitty Primed. That gives us 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get 1, 2. I get to reroll 1. I get a 3. I get to roll 2 more. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 on the scuttlebutt, who has a defense of 2, and he doesn't defend anything. This is overkill, so we earn another victory point. And now Nixie gets to move 1, 2, and she picks up the computer token. So we're gonna go ahead and leave that as is, and now we pull our event card, which we are activating a Peekaboom. Peekaboom, I activate this one. He'll port here, so that's 1, 2, 3, and he's going to do a ranged attack on red. He gets 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Red has a defense of 1. She blocks 1, she takes 3, and she only has 3 health, so red is dead, or red is KO'd. So it goes now to the blue team. We are going to shuffle the event deck because we've run out of cards. I'm not exactly sure if, I'll have to double check the rule book. Technically, I think if you run out of the event deck, I think it ends and the player with the most points wins this round. So we're just giving it a quick shuffle. Okay. So now it's the red team's turn. McGunner's the only one here. He's going to have to do something. He needs to make a move. He's going to go ahead and he is going to do a ranged attack with his blaster rifle and his red dot sight, which gives him 4. His is different. Melee symbol is what counts. So we get 1, 2, 3, and I get to reroll 1. Okay, so I get 3 success. Peekaboom has a defense of 2. He gets 1. So he takes 2, which is enough to defeat him, but not overkill, so he's going to fire back with 4. He gets 1, 2. McGunner has a defense of 3. He gets 1, and I get a reroll. He gets 1, so he takes 1. So Peekaboom is off the board. We earn another victory point, and he can move. So McGunner is going to go ahead and move. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we'll 1, 2, or yeah, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, now we draw the event card. We're activating a Peekaboom. This Peekaboom is going to move here and do a ranged attack on Nixie. He gets 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 2 more. Sorry. 5, plus 1 more. 6, plus 1 more. 7. 7 on Pixie's 4. Plus a reroll. 2. 2. So she gets 2. 7 on 2, that's 5. She's done. So she has to drop the token. And that's it. So that ends red team's turn. It is now blue team. Oh, blue team. We're just going to go ahead. Edge is going to move in, pick up this token. He's in. And now he's going to do a attack on the Peekaboom with 3. I get 1, 2. I get 2. Peekaboom has a defense of 2, gets nothing, so he is dead, but he attacks back first, and he gets 2, and Edge has, 2, so he blocks it. That's good for us. We earn a victory point. And now Edge has the token. We pull an event card. We're activating a scuttlebutt. There is no scuttlebutt. So we'll summon him right here, and he activates. We're going to attack McGunner with 4. He gets 1. McGunner has a defense of 3. He doesn't get it, he gets a reroll. He doesn't get it, so he takes 1. Okay, that ends blue team's turn. Red team. Red team. Red team. Red team. So, well, let's make it interesting. So, when you're adjacent on a portal to a monster, you can spend 1 movement point to use the portal, and it does not trigger the guard reaction. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. I'm not doing anything else. So event card, we are activating an Octolo. Octolo is right here. 1, 2, doing a close attack or a ranged attack that's close. On Edge, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Edge has a defense of 2. He gets 2. So he takes 3. 1, 2, 3. He's not dead yet. Okay. Blue team, we are taking a rest. We are taking a rest. We're bringing Nixie back. Nixie's going to be right there with a health of 3. And now we draw an event card. Oh, wait, that last event card, choose any type of monster. Yeah, that's. Okay, we are now activating an Octolo again. This Octolo is going to go 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So that ends blue team's turn. Choose an enemy crew the next time player crew. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we are going to rest. We're going to bring red back here. And she gets full health again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that would be the rest turn. For red team, now it's the blue team. Okay, blue team has some interesting choices to make. So Edge is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 to be right here, 4. Okay. And now now he can attack if he wants to. And I think he will. He will do an attack. We are doing Pulse Blade with Iron Fist to give me 4. This is on the Scuttlebutt. I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus an additional 1. So I get 5. Scuttlebutt rolls for defense. Gets nothing. So that's 5. Scuttlebutt overkilled. We earn victory point. And that's it. We draw an event card. We are activating another Scuttlebutt. There's no Scuttlebutt in sight. So we activate here. And 1, 2, 3. And it's attacking. Let's attack the gunner. 1, 2, 3, 4. McGunner has a defense of 3. He gets 1. He gets to reroll 1. He gets 2. He gets 2. So he takes 2. So he's out. So McGunner is out. Okay. I'm just going to ignore the text at the bottom because I'm realizing we're an hour into this game. So now it is the red team's turn. Okay, so red can teleport, which I think she will. She's going to teleport 1, 2, 3, 4. And she is going to do an attack on Gunner. And she will use her blaster rifle. She gets 4. Attacking Edge, sorry. She gets 1. Edge has 2 defense. He doesn't, and he suffers 1. And Edge is dead. He drops the token. There we go. All right, so, and in addition to that, because she killed it, she earns 3 points. She earns 3 victory points. And we have now completed a PvP quest. The first player to kill a hero from blue team completes this quest. So this quest is complete. And now she moved, attacked, we are activating a scuttlebutt. The scuttlebutt is going to 1, 2, 3, and move here. I guess it doesn't really matter which way I went. Okay, and that's it. Now it's blue team's turn. Nixie's going in. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. She picks up the quest. And now she's doing her range attack on red. She gets 5. She gets 1, 2, and she can reroll 1. She gets 3. So 3 on red. Red has a defense of 1, but Nixie's ability is when attacking with a ranged weapon, her target rolls -2 dice. So she has nothing to roll. So she actually takes all 3. So she takes 3 damage. Now we activate the event card. And we are activating an Octolo. We'll move this Octolo 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now it is red team's turn. And red is going to attack with her pulse blade. She gets 3, 4 iron fists, and she's injured, so she rolls 2 more. So she's rolling 6. 2, 2, 4, 6. She gets 2. She gets 2. Nixie is rolling with 4 defense. She doesn't get any. She can reroll 1. She doesn't get any. So she takes 2. She's still alive. And now red can move if she wants to, but she's not going to. Correct? Correct. Okay. So okay, so I don't know if you are an opposing enemy, if you are able to move past them. I think you can, but just for this gameplay, let's pretend you can't. So now we draw an event card. We are activating an Octolo. The Octolo is right here. So 1, 2, 3. Sorry. 1. Sorry, it was 1, 2, 3. Yep. Okay, blue team's turn. So in this circumstance, I have to double check with the rulebook in terms of movement. If you can move through another opponent. Because if you can't, then that makes sense. If there is a wall or closed space, hatches. Okay, so it does not say diagonal movement is not allowed. Can't move through walls or closed doors. And you can't move into a full space. You can't, and characters can move through a full space, and full spaces do not block their line of sight. So technically we can do this. So Nixie can move, and she can move here. She can move right here. And once she does that, the first player to end the activation of the hero on their destination while carrying the blue quest token completes this quest. So she can't attack because she doesn't have any weapons. So we're going to end her activation, and we earn 4 victory points right here. And that completes the quest. So we are done. So in this situation, it's pretty close, but we're going to tally up. So blue team has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Blue team has 10 victory points. Red team has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, interesting. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They also have 10 victory points. So in this situation, a rare situation actually, we've tied. Even though blue team was the one to finish quest 2, red team was the one to finish quest 1. Red team actually got the PvP quest, and yet they still ended up getting tied. So very interesting indeed. But that's the gameplay, and as you can see, it's not a quick paced game because there's a lot of dice rolls. Every time you attack, depending if you get overkill or not, it requires a counterattack. Then there's the event cards in between turns. So this was an almost over an hour, about an hour gameplay, and it's been a while since I played, so I'm a little rusty, but you can see the flow of the game. I like it because there is that element of PvP, PvE, so you are working against the other player, but trying to complete these quests as quickly as possible to earn those victory points. I'm not a huge fan of just victory point based. This reminds me a lot of card games, like deck building games, where if it's cooperative, there is sort of that, or if it's competitive, ultimately you are trying to earn as many victory points as possible. So I like the miniatures, I like the board setup, I like that there's scenarios to go through. And what would happen at this point is, I think in a tie, I'm not sure what exactly would happen in a tie, but the person with the most victory points gained in the scenario would pick 2 upgrades, a total of 4 upgrades from the level deck. Then the other player would pick up 1 upgrade. And you also earn badges for every 7 points, that victory points that you have. You earn 1 badge, and that badge is just, I guess, an additional, sort of bragging rights. So let me just double check here when it comes to the upgrades. So we'd be upgrading from the level 1 pack. So we get all these ones that we have, these extras. So the winning player here would be that, but I think the tiebreaker is the person who I'm not sure. As soon as all the PvE quests and at least 1 PvP is complete, the game ends. And they're awarded badges. In case of the tied players each roll 1 die. Whoever rolls a crit wins. If nobody rolls a crit, and they roll until. So here. So let's just, for fun, red team rolls a crit, blue team does not roll a crit. So in this situation, the red team would gain the advantage of extra weapons. I've heard there is an imbalance in terms of this gameplay. What would happen is, once you've done your upgrades, you choose 4 upgrades for the winning team, I think 2 upgrades for the losing team. And once you do that, your weapon upgrades do provide quite an advantage. So technically, the person to win the first scenario and get those upgrades tends to have a huge advantage, and it's very hard for the other player or the other players to catch up. So there is a sort of an imbalance. I've heard that is a problem with this game. And what would happen after this is the winning team or the winning player would select the next scenario. The scenario is either scenario 2A or 2B, and they would choose. The winner of that scenario would then get their upgrades and choose the next scenario between, I think, 3A, 3B, and 3C. And then everything comes back down to scenario 4. So scenario 4 is that huge finale against the boss. And again, it's bragging rights at the end of it. So it's a cool campaign system, and I have to say there are some really, really cool weapons that you can earn. I mean, look at this, the Commander Sword with all these different abilities, and keeping track of these things is not too bad. Remembering to exhaust your weapons and taking the rest, and also keeping track of all your victory points and who rolls when. It's a little daunting at the beginning, but this is a game that I think works best with actually two or more players. It's not something I would recommend solo, and honestly, when I want to play a solo game, this is not the first game to come off the shelf. So, but I do enjoy the artwork, I do enjoy the mechanics, I do enjoy the dice rolling, and I really think these miniatures are really cool. So, thanks for playing Starcadia Quest with me. Until next time, stay bored.